Hello everybody, and welcome back to KSP. So, first thing first, I've been looking through the tech tree and I kind of have a basic outline of what my plan is. So I'm going to need a lot of things before I can go to the moon, or Mun, I guess it is. And those are electrics. Although I technically could go with basic science, but that would require me to have a whole bunch of batteries, because I do have TAC life support, which requires battery energy. Also, I was thinking, before I would go to... Oh, I remember what the other thing was. No. Advanced rocketry, I need the carrier liquid fuel engine. It's a bit hard to do landings with the huge engines we have currently. Alright, so things we have now, though. I've developed an airplane, and I have developed, if we can get to it, an orbit rocket. There's a hair on my screen. Alright, so here we have the Orbit 3. Not much of a change, aside from the fact that I got rid of the solid fuel engine because it would always explode in my tests with this. Alright, so that's right, Kerbal in it. Let's launch this. Also, I have developed an airplane. I'm not sure if there's going to be enough time in this episode. There probably will be, though. You seem very happy right now. I almost guarantee you're going to be really, really scared pretty soon. Alright, let's launch. Yeah, no, I'm scared. Otherwise it becomes unstable and will flip around and explode. Which is fun and all, but not really what rockets are meant for. Assuming they're not a missile. Then I kind of want them to explode. Alright, so now, check those. Actually, it's quite amazing how much better of a KSPer I've became since I first got the game. I remember when I first discovered SAS, I'm like, wow, this is like magic. So for that, my rockets would spin out of control. Alright, now I'm going to stop going. I'm going to add a maneuver. I'm going to Alright, we've got to burn this right now then. So, click Z, go to full power. It's not actually that hard to deorbit this, since I found it a really good way to deorbit really fast objects, like things just in orbit. And how you do that is basically you don't slow down completely, but you make orbit which goes inside of the atmosphere. I'm going to slow down a little bit here. Let's see. Yep, that's probably an acceptable orbit. I'm going to accept that. Alright. We're now in space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Orbit 3. This continuing mission to orbit strange new worlds and to seek out new science and new technologies and to boldly go where no Kerbal has gone before. Alright, I've already done this apparently, so I'm just going to set that. Observe materials bay. I think I've done a lot of this, but that is 5.5 science, so I might as well grab that. Observe mystery goo. Still a little bit of science. I don't actually know if I went on an EVA. EVA report. You recorded your observations about the situation. Alright, so I'm going to board. Let's see, how much science do we have? I know if you go over different land mass areas, you can get different science, so let's look. What are some land masses? Alright, let's warp here. Actually, let's cancel that. Let's warp to the crater. reset materials bay. Oh, materials bay. Alright, are we over the crater yet? Not yet. Actually, I kind of want to investigate this island over here at some point. Probably with a nuclear airplane. So actually, it turns out there's a whole bunch of biomes in the KSC. So it's going to be extremely easy to get some science. And go to 1. The microgravity is greatly affected. Now I'm going to try that one again. Alright, I guess I can't really do anything else other than that. Alright then. Let's click to a retrograde vector for now. I'm going to create a maneuver at Periax, probably. Alright. Yes, this is about a number you want, is 42,000 meters. And that's not going to take much fuel at all. So I'm going to warp to next maneuver. I'm gonna wait a little bit before I burn this, since I can burn it extremely quickly. I'm gonna start at 20 seconds until the node. Kind of went a little low there. And now we are spinning around. I'm gonna go to retrograde here. I think I will dump my engine then. There, so we've gotten rid of the engine. That should burn up in the atmosphere. Oh, and there's the KSC. I'm going to do a little bit of time warping. And a little bit more time warping. I don't actually recommend time warping during this part. But since I have time restraints as to how long these videos can be. Well, it's more of how long I can actually record. Yeah, the controls are just freaking out right now. Well, we can actually pretty much just watch this whole thing from inside the cabin. That's the nice part. What a beautiful view. I wonder if these tanks over here are monopropellant. I think probably so, because I know that one of the tanks by the launch pad looks like that. So let's see how's her spacecraft doing. Once we get below 50,000 meters is about the time where we start getting some heat. And you look really happy about this. Oh, there we go. It's not doing much right now. Slowing us down a tiny bit. It's not even heating up anything right now. You are really happy, and this is the most dangerous part of going to space. Try more just a little bit here. Alright, here's where things start to get interesting. You start heating up, and the two goo canisters say they're heating up, but they're never going to explode. Unless you flip the whole spacecraft around, then the whole thing's gone, pretty much. A wasted mission. There's not actually that much to see out here, since it pretty much takes care of itself. So, I'm going to go into the cabin. Where we can watch all of this with the safety of the spacecraft. Apparently we only have 5 days, well, 5 hours worth of electricity. If it takes us 5 hours to deorbit, I think there's probably some issues. See right here, that's electricity, oxygen, water, food. Right now, it sounds like we're beginning to heat up outside. Let's take a look. also the words in the cabin were kind of blurred out. But I did notice that in like the habitation module, which is used in the spacecrafts, all the space stations that most people put up, it's actually, there's actually a whole wall covered in bins just for trash, but it has different names for them, like junk, rubbish, trash, and refuse. So I don't know what the difference is between all of those. Looks like those are still heated up. So it's safe to deploy parachutes right now. Alright, it's safe. Let's do that then. You guys are probably going to begin lagging out about right now. Alright, it looks like you guys are still okay right now then. So if you guys start lagging out right now, I don't really know. But I'll give you a pretty good description of what's happening. So, still going down. We're about 3,500 meters right now above the ground. I'm going to begin a time acceleration 4 times right now. Alright, now the parachutes have deployed, but the spacecraft flipped around. And I'm letting down the landing gear. I actually think we're above the grasslands right now. Where are we, actually? We're on the main landmass, of Kerbal right now. Sort of in the middle of it. And we're right next to a lake. Alright, it looks like you guys are still reaching this, because I remember last episode I looked back and you guys didn't see any of the landing scenes. I think I will put a flag down here, though, because it's the first successful orbit. This would be a really long fall. If I were just to jump out right now. Let's see, are you guys still getting this? Alright, I'm gonna stop time acceleration. Alright, and we've landed. Just going to make sure you guys are still seeing this. Alright, yes you are. I don't know if it was just a problem with OBS that day. that happened. So I think it's pretty stable right now then. It's not lagging out. Alright, so let's get to what we were going to do. Let's go on an EVA, and we are going to let go and fall to the ground and to our, hopefully not our death. Oh, it's only scientists that can remove data, I think. Or why am I not able to remove data? I'm not sure. Just testing to see how you do that. Alright, so this looks like a pretty good place to place a flag. So we can even take a surface sample. Yep, looks like dirt. And an EVA report. I don't think a spacesuit was entirely necessary here, was it? Alright. And now let's plant a flag. First orbit. Alright. Alright, that's kind of weird. Alright, so let's recover vessel. Or Kerbal. Got a little bit of science from that. Alright, now I'm going to go find the orbit 3. Alright, so it was right here, apparently. So where's the KSC, then? The KSC is in this continent that looks like Africa, in my opinion. It's almost directly away, almost on the direct other side of Kerbal. Apparently, I can see the lathe right now. Why is that? Am I in a really close encounter with the lathe pretty soon? No. Actually, we are pretty close to Eve right now. That might be worth looking into pretty soon. Alright, so let's recover vessel. And we got a whole bunch of science. It's always good when you get science. Alright, let's go here, and what should we research? Right now, I'm thinking we should research basic science. That takes 45 science. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to go for. Research that. And then we need to get electrics after that. But I've got a really good method for getting a lot of science very quickly. And that's with my space plane. Or science plane as I call it. It's not really a space plane. So I'm going to load space plane 1, but there is a change that I want to make. One that's more out of like, preference, I guess you could say. And that is putting a parachute on. What just happened? That is not a good thing. Alright, we fixed that. Alright, so let's fly this then. Since we're done with the orbit missions, Sunny Kerman is not with anything to do, so I think I'm going to put... Who should I put in charge of the science plane? How about NZ Kerman? The scientist should probably be be in charge of the science plane. So I'm going to save. But before that, I'm going to put some science experiments on it. Like the mystery goo. Or I'm going to have to do that again. The thermometer. And I think that's pretty much all I'm going to put on there. So let's go, then. So where should we go first? So let's go to... that little outpost base thing out in the water. Oh, that's not good. Fortunately, we're still flying, though. Actually, if I really wanted to survive that, I probably would have released the parachutes, though. If I didn't have reverting enabled. Really likes to turn. So I'm going to get a bit of altitude here before I turn. Alright, we really don't even need to be going much faster than this. Well, I guess we could probably be going that speed. Actually, I'm gonna change the trajectory of this a little bit more. Here is where I'm going to turn. They're nearly crashed into the water. Let's throttle back a little bit. Gonna turn on the brakes. I'm going to release the parachutes. Alright, so where are we in respect to there? I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so I at least know where we're going. So it looks like that hill over there is where we want to go. I'm gonna release the brakes. Be sure not to go too fast. I lost some of the wings. Alright, now I'm going to activate the brakes. As long as we still have the airplane, it's okay. Alright, so let's observe the mystery goo. You observe the goo. let's log the temperature. The temperature here is quite pleasant, and it would be a nice place to live. Let's go to crew report. You recorded the crew's assessment of the situation. Alright, let's go on an EVA. EVA report. This is the most precarious situation. Store experiments. Alright, let's head back in and go back to the KSC. It's about time to wrap up the episode right now. We didn't get much science from that. But what I think I'll probably do off camera is go around the KSC and collect science from each of the biomes, because each of these buildings is technically its own biome. So that's a lot of science I can collect off camera. And yeah, that's pretty much all I'll do. So don't forget to subscribe, but until then, I'm ep2, signing off.